So I thought to start my blog post, because I was going to just start on the outside, but I want to show you guys what I go through every morning first. I wake up in this messy room that I share with two other girls. I'm just joking, I love these girls. I'll wake up in this room, open the door, and ba-blam! You're so cute! So in my last video I talked about future plans that I had for coming to New Zealand. And before I even talk about this, I'll talk about Taiwan, because that was an experience and a half, and oof, it just reaffirmed how much I love the country. I got to hang out with all my friends, eat all the food I wanted to. I traveled around basically the whole thing, and yeah, it just, anything that happens here in the story in this video that's negative, I always have and always keep in my mind that worst comes to worst, I got a sanctuary to go back to. So I'll do my experience in Taiwan in a different video, but first I want to get this done so it's so fresh in my mind. After Taiwan, and oh, shout out to Noah, David, Matt, Thomas, and Ilya for letting me stay in their places in Taiwan and making my trip way more cost effective. I left the 26th and arrived in Auckland the 27th. First goal? Easy, get a SIM card. How hard could it be? Apparently very hard, especially when your SIM tray is broken. Okay, move on. Let's get a hospital stay in. Find that easy. Bank account, you need an appointment. Try next day. Okay. So in Auckland, it took me 3 days to do nothing, basically. I couldn't open up a bank account because you need to make an appointment, and all of the branches in Auckland are booked for a week. So the only option was to wait till I got to Akaroa and have an appointment here. So I made an appointment in Auckland for when I arrived here in Akaroa. My SIM card I brought to a tech shop, kind of like a Best Buy at home. And the guy's like, oh, let me see. Oh, yeah. Well, maybe just like pull it. And he like yanked it out, but he just ripped the tray out. And so my phone now has no SIM card tray, which the Galaxy S7 is a dual SIM card holder, or one memory card, one SIM card. So now I have no memory card in my phone. I can only use internal memory. And I can't receive calls, and I don't have mobile data, and this house doesn't have Wi-Fi. So right now I have nothing. So that was Auckland. Very nice looking city though. Let me just switch up the angle for you now. Ugh. So then I flew to Christchurch. I was gonna come to Akaroa on the 29th because that was Eva's birthday, but there's only one bus out here at 9 a.m. and I didn't arrive at 9 a.m. so there's no way I was gonna make it. So I spent the one night in Christchurch, and that place is beautiful. I mean, just architecturally, and even they have a huge park called Eden Park, which is amazing. If you're ever in Christchurch, definitely check it out. Slept early and made my way to Akaroa. Started applying for jobs immediately. Eva already had a place to stay here with a guy named David. David runs the only cinema in Akaroa. Also, Akaroa just has 600 people, so the options are very limited, to say the least. So Eva had a place with David and a spare bedroom, and I moved in. After a week of not finding work in something I was really interested in, which would be tourism. So there is 3 dolphin touring companies here that I applied to, and they just weren't hiring anybody. There's a tourist information place here, not hiring anybody. There are some hotels only hiring housekeepers, and the rest are restaurants, and I don't want to work in a restaurant. I've never worked in a restaurant as a waiter. It's not something I aspire to be, and so that was bottom of my list. Eventually got a job at a hotel as housekeeping. The pay was pretty sweet, and the work was pretty easy. You got to work with a group of people, and I liked it a lot. So I had accommodation, I had a job, and then Eva and Emma, my 2 roommates, had a day off on Wednesday, so we thought we'd go to Christchurch and do some Christmas shopping. I'm pulling my hair up real quick. So I went to Christchurch to do some Christmas shopping. I bought up 2 gifts, but most importantly we went to buy food, because food in Akaroa, there's only one road here, one road out, one bus here at 9 a.m, one bus out at 4 p.m. So you can't even just go for a day. It's kind of ridiculous. But Emma has the truck. We did a day trip, bought all our groceries, came home, and to make a long, very unfortunate story short, we came home to blaring music at home, saw David. Eva bought him chili powder because he knew he wanted this Chinese chili sauce, so she bought it for him as a gift. He turned off the lights, went to sleep. Eve and I were listening to music with our headphones in. She was drawing, I was writing in silence. He asked us to go to bed. I said this is common space, and you know, it's only 11 o'clock. We have the day off the next day, so I think it's okay if we do this. We're being the most considerate we can. He then yelled at me and said, "You idiot, this is my house. I don't need you. Get the hell out of the living room, go to sleep, or I'm going to throw your shit out into the woods." I said, "David, that's not fair." He said, "You want to talk about fair? Don't talk to me about fair. This is my place. I don't need you. You're not needed here. I don't want you here. And you can't argue about this." Yelling. I'm trying to stay as calm as possible because no one's ever spoken to me like this before. And I remind him again, "David, this is common space, and sorry you feel this way, but we pay rent. So we pay for our room and we pay for this." So then he cuts me off and says,
"Jamie, I will take your body so deep into the woods, nobody will find you for 2 days.
He said this with the most intensity I've ever seen in a man's eyes. And I remembered that, one, he has nothing to lose. He's told me about his past, his problems. He has nothing to lose. He has, unfortunately, not much to live for either. And so when he makes this threat to me, I take it very seriously. And I said, "Okay, David, I'm gonna go right now." Pack my stuff, put it into Eva's room. Shoulder's getting tired, so I gotta switch the arms here. Me and Eva then went in her room, contemplated what we want to do, since I don't feel safe living with this maniac anymore. And he came back downstairs looking for me, so he went to my room, knocked on the door, opened it. I wasn't there. I'm with Eva. Opens Eva's room and directs me personally, "And you're so ungrateful. I offered you a job, I offered you training, and you turned me down. How stupid can you be? You need money, you need this." And it's like, "Oh, hey, Lil Wody, what's going on here? I don't want to work at a movie theater with you. I don't want to work with you. I've never dreamt of being a barista. That's never been in my plans in the future. Thank you for the offer. Don't want it." Though, I did say I was going to help him because he works 7 days a week. And I said, nobody should work 7 days a week. That's terrible. So I told him, if you had time, I could help you, even though I already had a job and I was planning on teaching English online. But he told me to come back after Christmas when it got busier. It was only the 2nd week of December. "So what are you talking about?" He replied with, "Well, and you want to argue about common space. Dick move, man." And then he slammed the door and left. Then he disconnected the Wi-Fi, so now I have no connection to the outside world. And I said, "Eva, pack your bags." I'm packing my bags. "Emma, we called up a friend who works in a hotel. Let's get out of here." So that was last week. The next day we hustled hard. We found this beautiful house. Ta-da! But it's a holiday home and only available for 1 week. We have, today's Monday, Wednesday, we gotta get out and find a new place to live. Currently, I don't know where I'm gonna be living in the next 2 days. And have kind of decided I don't want to be here anymore either. So now we're looking for places to stay in maybe Christchurch, looking for a job now because if I don't have accommodation, I can't even work at the place I was working at before. And yeah, no phone, no place to stay, no job, been a month. What an adventure, let's go! So that's my quick rundown of life in New Zealand. I've come here from a country where I had everything. Now I have no phone, no job, no place in 2 days. But I got my friends, that's sweet. And worst comes to worst, that Jen, I'm out. But I do want to stick it through. And I have applied for jobs, and I think I might just start doing some farm work just to get out of this situation. But most importantly is that we're safe. Yeah, we're safe. So thanks for listening to the video. I will post another one hopefully shortly. I don't know when I'm going to edit this one because it's really tough to edit when I can only do it in town. And I would go to the library, but it's right beside the cinema, so but yeah. Yeah, till next time. Bye, Jen.